Hey everyone, so my next challenge is to see how many days it'll take me to do the pistol squat. Reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure my legs are equally as strong, so I thought I might as well practice doing a unilateral exercise. And I also think it's a pretty cool exercise that requires mobility and balance, which I think might be what I'm lacking, or at least initially. So here it is, day one, let's go.
To test my ankle mobility, I stand 6 inches away from the wall, and ideally, my knees should be able to touch the wall. I also checked both external and internal hip rotation to make sure enough mobility is there, and to check whether or not both sides are balanced.
Alright, so I just did a couple of assessments for my ankle and my hips, and the results weren't that pretty. I failed all the assessments, so I'm really in need of stretching and mobility work.
Here are my first attempts of doing a pistol squats, and I just kept on losing balance, especially on my left side. I was losing balance at a minimal depth.
Oh shit.
To start off my pistol squat journey, I started by practicing the touchdown squat, where I hinge back as far as I can with my hips and gently tap my heel onto the floor before coming back up. I practiced 3 sets for at least 5 reps, but ideally 10 reps. Once I got good at doing them, I started practicing the sweeping touchdown squats, which is just sweeping your leg forward as much as possible before standing up. My first few days of practicing these were not the prettiest, and I wasn't able to sweep forward too much, and it was especially hard for my left side. For these ones, I did 3 sets of at least 3 reps, but ideally 5 reps. Sometimes I'll feel a little bit too much pressure on my knees, so I would either take a few days off as rest or focus on doing touchdown squats again. I also noticed that I would always lose balance when practicing these on my left side, and progress just wasn't coming as quickly as the right side. So, because of this, I started to really work on my ankle mobility. I was also still doing 1 set of 10 reps for touchdown squats after the sweeping ones, and this is especially so when my knees was feeling weird. I found it very helpful to still make some progress by doing them instead of doing nothing. These are the first few days of attempting to do a pistol squat, and initially it was quite disheartening since I just kept on losing balance after each rep. To be honest, there were times where I thought that I just wouldn't be able to do a rep and I thought of quitting, but then one day, I don't know what happened, it just clicked and I was able to do a rep. And a few days later, my left side was also successful, and I couldn't really hold back my excitement here.
Oh shit. Okay.
There are also times where the quads of the opposite leg would cramp up when I'm doing a rep, and I don't know what's happening, but it's always quite painful, but also a fun experience since I never know when I'm going to be expecting it. I then told myself that I'll try to do 3 reps on both sides just to end this challenge. Unfortunately, I did give up on my left side since my knee was feeling a little bit weird and I didn't want to push it too hard. But here's a clip of my first 3 rep pistol squat, and I was also able to do it again on the next day. Right here is where I gave up on doing 3 reps for the left side. After my second rep, I
Oh
felt
shit.
both my ankle and knee feel a little bit off, so I didn't want to risk it by pushing myself even more. And even though I was able to do pistol squats for the majority of the time, there were still times I would still lose balance and fall backwards. And whenever this happens, I know it's time to take a break. To work on ankle mobility, I would wrap 2 bands around the ankle I'm working on and use my other leg as an anchor by stepping on the band. Then I would just slowly glide forward and backwards to work on the area. And if the band is too light, you can just fold it in half to increase the tension. And after doing this for a couple of days, I noticed a lot of improvements and I was able to touch the wall with both my left and right knee. I also worked on foam rolling my quads to prevent them from cramping while doing the pistol squats, and I also rolled out my calves to help with ankle mobility. Here I'm just forcing myself to get used to the bottom portion of the pistol squat. These are called 90-90s, and I'm doing this for both my hip external rotation and hip internal rotation.
So it took me exactly 30 days to be able to do a pistol squat on both my left side and my right side. However, I didn't really train every day. The actual training days was 14 days for my right side and 17 days for the left side. I definitely still need to put in plenty of work to clean up my reps, especially doing them consecutively. But based on how much time I've put in, I'm very happy with what I've accomplished. And to do 3 consecutive reps on my right side, it took me 40 days or 20 training days. If you have ever thought about doing pistol squats but never gave it a try, definitely I recommend it. You can probably do it a lot quicker than me, just depending on how often and how long you practice. And for those of you who are monsters at squatting but never tried pistols, they were a lot more fatiguing and harder than I thought, so definitely recommend giving it a try as well. And as always, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please also subscribe as well. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.